All right, we're back with the Screen Team. It's right here on KWOC. It's all being brought to you by Whitworth Gift Chest Jewelers, where Walmart is next door to us. Also, Fearless Social and Poplar Bluff Drywall. Remember, you can check us out online at screenteampb.com. Very, very easy to find. We've got Kyle on the show, and we're doing some really great movies with Kyle's show today. And the next one we're doing is The Pursuit of Happyness, starring Will Smith. And Kyle, I'm kind of interested. Why was this a movie you wanted to choose?
I saw the Pursuit of Happiness a few years ago, and I never really heard a whole lot about it. But it seemed a little bit more along the serious side of your typical Will Smith movie, and so I decided to give it a whirl. And man, I tell you what, he really blew me away with this. Just a personal opinion, I think this might have been his best performance overall in any film. So I was vastly impressed. Plus, it's based on a true story, and I'm a bit of a sucker for those.
You know, I might agree with you on that. I haven't seen Ali yet, so I can't really comment on that performance. But this performance was really, really amazing. He plays a guy named Chris Gardner, who is just he's a very, very smart man, but like he is just running into some bad luck. He is like he's like a salesman for some sort of medical product that they don't really need. So he's trying to sell them something that they don't really need. So he's having a hard time doing that. He's got a 6 or 7 year old son, a wife who's very, very unhappy, and just a crazy amount of debt. So things are tough on him at the moment.
Yeah, they really were. Just when you get a glimpse into his life in the first day, that's portrayed throughout the movie. Just trying to sell he's got to sell these huge units, which you could kind of liken them in a way to what we look at as like a 3D printer nowadays. Or kind of his product was ahead of its time, and nobody knew what to do with it, so nobody was buying it. But he's got to sell these units to make his bills and make the rent. And his wife, once, as you alluded to, very, very unhappy, cranky woman, and they're always fighting and bickering. And he's also trying to do right for his son. But while trying to sell these units in San Francisco, where the movie's set, he's just running into every possible bit of bad luck you could imagine. Rule number one, never give what's going to pay the bills to a homeless person.
That's just so funny. He's throughout the whole movie he's carrying these big, printer x-ray machines, whatever they are. I mean, those things are just like 25 pounds, it seems like, and he is carrying them, and he's trusting people to look after them, and everybody he trusts to do that rips him off, and he's like chasing after him like half of San Francisco to get these things back so he can eat and sleep and stuff like that. So he was just running all over the place. He's a very, very dedicated, very driven man in this film.
Oh, extremely. He's the example of what you would see as untapped potential in terms of how a business or, a corporation would look at somebody. Because you would see the way he was presenting himself at times where he's looking kind of dirty. He hadn't exactly, kept up with his appearance. But if you would actually sit down with this guy, you'd find out he is a real diamond in the rough. He's super intelligent, very dedicated to, for trying to sell this one product. So imagine what he could do for a big company. And throughout all the trials and tribulations, as you will find out later on in this film, he and his son eventually they wind up getting an opportunity working for a business where he's trying to sell and sell with clients. And there's a lot of big money involved in it, but the thing is, there's only room for a select few to get this job, and he really, really needed it because everything was just going wrong. At one point, they were homeless, living in bathrooms and subways. It doesn't get any lower than that.
But even with the when he was homeless and when he only had $20 to his bank account, he was still driven, still working as hard as he can to have a better life for himself and for his son. It was truly an amazing story, and Will Smith's performance was awesome. What did you think about his son? Because his real life son Jaden plays his son in the movie. What did you think about him?
Yeah, I thought he did an excellent job just trying, for obviously a young child actor with no experience and being able to, soak up from your dad. And when your dad's Will Smith, it's, I would believe it would make things a little bit easier. And he did a really good job. And you empathize with the child, and he's asking all these questions about his mom. And Just imagine if you were that age and you were put in that type of situation, and you'd probably be, acting and reacting to things the same way he did as well. And for the rough patches that they had, I thought he did an outstanding job.
You know what I thought was funny in this film? Will Smith has just got, or Will Smith's character in this film has just got issue after issue after issue. Whether it's with taxes or parking tickets or whatever. So he's got a lot on his plate. But then there's scenes where he's got to help out guys in the brokerage firm, with their problems. He's trying
Yeah.
he's trying to figure out his problems, and then like the president of the company is like, "Hey, you got $5 I can borrow?" Or the other guy's like, "Hey, can you park my car for me?" And it's
Right.
just,
I remember that part.
oh my goodness, it was. I mean, those were some of the funnier parts of this film. It's I believe it's rated PG-13, but there is
Hmm.
a couple of cuss words. Nothing too bad. But I think this is a good movie for parents to watch and certain members of the family. I would probably say maybe 10 or 13 up can handle this film. What do you think about that,
Yeah.
Kyle?
I think it's very fair. About your preteen, the early teenagers could sit down and enjoy this movie. Plus, if they actually pay attention and comprehend everything that is being conveyed, that you can accomplish anything in the world you want as long as you keep your foot to the ground and you hit the pavement every single day. Doesn't matter where you come from or what your circumstances are. You can do anything in this world. And once you see the end game to the film, you see exactly what became of Chris Gardner, the real man behind in the story.
Yeah,
He made a big success out of himself.
one of the cool scenes is there's a scene where Will Smith and his son are playing basketball, and I think the kid was like, "Hey, I want to be a basketball player or whatever," and Will Smith's like, you're gonna have to shoot, day and night to do that, and I wasn't very good, so you're not gonna be very, much better. So
Right.
I don't want you doing that kind of thing. And then he realizes what he'd done, that he disappointed his son and disappointed his dream. That he was like, don't let anybody, even me, tell you that you can't do something. And I think that's the main message in this film.
Exactly, and that's something as any parent should never crap on your children's dreams. Always encourage them. Always be their inspiration, be their support, and even when times are tough, if they believe in something, believe in them, and that's what you got to do. And that was a really poignant moment there, especially if you happen to be a person where times are tough. Always keep your head up, and if you have children who believe in something, believe in them.
So if your daughter wants to be like on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, will you be all right with that?
I don't know. You have to talk to her mother about that. That's out of my range. Sorry, brother.
All right, man. It's called The Pursuit of Happyness. You can check it out on DVD. Coming up after the break, we're turning things over to a boxing movie. It's called Southpaw. We'll review that next on KWOC.